Preparing to live stream the meeting. Okay, so we are
preparing to live stream the meeting.
Ooh, hold on here, something. Let me have infinite regress happening. Where's that audio coming from? Okay, cool. Let me turn on a light here, both physically and metaphorically, or at least physically. One more light, give me a second. Okay, so hey Tyler, welcome to the Radical Undoing YouTube channel, even though it looks like we're just on Zoom there. So I closed out of that so we can pretend that we're just you and me. All right, so welcome Tyler. As you all know from the YouTube channel, I'm Garrett Don, the head of Command Z and the Radical Undoing trainer. And I want to introduce to you today Tyler Woodson. So welcome, Tyler.
Thank you, Garrett. Excited to be here.
And thanks, man. I'm excited to have you, really. And I was going to start mentioning how amazing it is that we just met in person at the workshop, but we'll touch on that in a moment. So to frame this, I want to say welcome. Tyler is one of the newest members of Command Z, both him and Mark, who you'll meet also later today on a video. Or if you're watching this later, you can look for the introduction video to Mark. But Tyler and Mark both recently completed the Command Z teacher training. They're the only two people who have ever done so. So they are now available for live in-person sessions. Tyler specifically in St. Petersburg, Florida, and then surrounding regions. He's also willing to travel, or you can travel to him, but he's in the St. Petersburg, Florida area. If St. Petersburg, Florida still exists after the current hurricane that apparently is hitting right now. Somehow it seems appropriate that we're doing this at that moment. Yeah.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
So just to give everybody a little bit of background in your experience, but then also what this whole Command Z and Radical Undoing thing is about. Why don't you just share a little bit about your previous training and then how you ended up with me and Command Z, and then share in more detail about the experiences going through that all the way up to the current workshop that we just had in England. So I'll just let you go ahead, and then if I have questions, I'll cut you off and ask them.
Perfect. So yeah, in 2014, I was looking for life change. I tried psychology, psychiatry, so many different routes, and nothing worked. Nothing really helped me until I came across bioenergetic therapy, which is similar to Radical Undoing. And my first session, I was so blown away. All the symptoms I thought I was suffering with were just gone. Immediately in one session, I got beneath everything that I'd tried to for 2 years. I continued with a variation of bioenergetics called structural energetic therapy. I took training, but what was missing was daily work in all of these systems. You could just go see somebody once a week, do nothing on your own, don't really explore, don't take it into the world. And that's what I felt was missing. And when I came across Radical Undoing, a year and a half ago, it just clicked immediately in the 28-day intensive. And from that point, I pretty much straight away got into the training with you, Garrett. And yeah, since then I've been totally blown away. And just every session you learn so much about yourself, whether you want to or not. And
so share a little bit about the intensive. You're experiencing the intensive. What was that like? Like what's it all about? Because so bioenergetics and the Radical Undoing, the sessions are like a lay down body movement and breathing thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds so innocuous when I say it that way, because people will think, oh, is that the same as yoga? Is that the same as Reiki? Is that the same as A, B, C, D, F, G, Z? And the answer is always no. But I understand why the mind does that. It wants to try to put something new into a category that it can understand. But so
Right.
So go into that a little bit, so there's this laying down, body movement and breathing, but the intensives has so much more in it than that. Like what was you just kind of riff on that.
Well, certainly with the first session, like you said, the first lay down session, everything shifts. I mean, so many old tension patterns and thought patterns just seem to completely disappear. But beyond that, the different routines every single morning and different adventures every day, you have to actually take what you open up and get rid of in the body the old tensions and go explore and find a way to put them to use and realize all the discomfort's just total bullshit. The only way to do that is to go explore. So with the different missions, with the different, I don't know how much to go into on here, but that sold me immediately.
Well, what are some real life, like vulnerable, maybe mildly embarrassing examples can you give about? So you mentioned old thought processes that just disappeared, or old ways of being that just disappeared. Like, don't share anything you don't want public, but share a little bit so people watching that are going through something similar can relate. You know what I mean?
So much of my social life was a waste of time and energy, feeling like I had to have a certain group of people and keep fighting to keep people in my life. And once I realized that was false, so many new things opened up. But it was embarrassing about how much time I'd wasted and money just doing useless shit to try to impress people I really didn't care about. And letting that fall apart with no tension. I mean, relationships that were not conducive to my life, letting those go too. Looking back, you realize how much time I wasted and how much I invested in those things. And especially with the intensives, it just came undone. I didn't even try to do it, but you realize how much we hold on to and don't fucking need. And how much better
get
life.
Really specific, like give one example that maybe something.
Yeah, the girl I was dating for a year and a half, and trying to hold on to it and fighting. And at some point, it was after one of the undoing sessions on a Sunday. I stopped fighting immediately. And I realized there's no point trying to force, especially romantic relationships. And that coming undone within 24 hours, that was one that just blew my mind of how quickly we can stop wasting energy with people in our lives and holding on to just things that aren't useful. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
That one. Yeah. Coming back to it. But yeah.
Very cool. And then the teacher training. So that was like a year's worth of stuff. What was that like for you?
Intense for sure. Definitely intense going through that. The start of last September, I didn't know what to expect with it, for one. I thought it would be all radical undoing every single day, focusing just on that. But how much goes into it and actually being present in daily life, and to start from a place of not being rushing around, of actually being present and trying to start from there, and how long that takes to actually reach that place. That blew me away. And with sense and feel going deeper, I mean, God, every week was packed. So many adventures in life that I thought, why would I want to do this? But then do it and just laugh at yourself and realize how great things can be. Just going through discomfort willingly, and to not fight discomfort. Just do it.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And then what about this UK workshop thing? So we met in person. We have a week-long workshop in England, in the southwest of England, on a farm. So it's like a fully immersive experience, not like, there's workshop over here and then you go back to your hotel or everything. We're all living there together, basically eating, sharing meals, all living there together for a full week. So what was that like? And you can compare it to other things or just share, a couple highlights for you, whatever you want.
There's nothing to compare it to. I've seen nothing like it in my life, so I won't even try. The adventure started trying to get to the farm, which was awesome, to meet up and with the other people in the at the workshop and find a way to get out there, then make it to the farm, this beautiful countryside with awesome food, radical undoing daily. There's nothing like it. Like you said, you don't leave. It's a community. You're not disappearing for lunch, sleeping at different hotels. It's a fully immersive experience where you really get to know people over 7 days at a really, really deep level. All the awesome nights together. I mean, I'll be back to the next one for sure. But I had no idea what to expect, and that made it all the better. It was truly
it's kind of a difficult thing. Sorry to cut you off. I think there's a slight delay. So it's sometimes difficult to try to describe what this radical undoing stuff is to people. Like I said, it's something that can help you get rid of chronic tensions, overcome the so-called problems of anxiety, depression, stress, and all this stuff. But it almost reorients your awareness to what's going on in life. Like you mentioned, the teacher training, that it was like so much about understanding what presence is and then operating from that place of presence rather than rushing around in response to thoughts and feelings. Is that accurate?
Certainly, yeah.
And so the undoing work does that, but really the best way to find out about it is to have the experience. So I encourage anybody who's watching that's in the Florida area or even in the southeastern US to go drive to Tyler and have a session and then find out for yourself. And then from there, he can guide you through something like the intensives. And then also when we work individually with somebody, we can introduce adventures or practices, or because this is an organic thing, like I never told you, for example, Tyler, I never said break up with your girlfriend. I never gave you psychological advice, correct?
Never, not once.
You just did the work and stayed present, and then those situations resolved according to how you wanted them to resolve, right? Or according to the healthy way for you to move forward. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it wasn't goal setting. It wasn't life coaching. It wasn't, so this stuff.
Not even close. There would have been no way to even predict any of that or to try to force it. It really does just happen. There's no fighting. I don't know how to explain it without going. I don't know how you break that down, but no fight, no effort. It just happens.
Yeah. So you're making the effort in the body, doing the breathing, doing the exercises, but you're not making a bunch of cognitive effort or intellectual, planning or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's fascinating. I think that's why people have a hard time understanding it, because there's no way to intellectually grasp it ahead of time. You can introduce metaphors, like I've called it, from victim to adventurer. And by victim, I mean blaming forces outside you for your condition or for why you feel bad or whatever, to then adventure, meaning you accept whatever the conditions are and then move from there. Similar to, or from the manipulated life where you think you have to manipulate everything, into the flowing life where you just wait and see and allow life to unfold, in which case most situations resolve themselves or were never a problem in the first place, except in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Tyler. Well, and people can reach you soon. We'll have Tyler at radicalundoing.com. I'll be setting that up, but for now, people can reach you at, is it tylerundoing@gmail.com?
Yep, that's it.
So tylerundoing@gmail.com, and then soon we'll have all the at radicalundoing.com set up, but I'll put that in the description and everything as well. So anybody watching in the Florida area, get in touch with Tyler and go have a session, and then he'll have packages of sessions because you want to do this stuff over and over. So, we usually limit it to at least 1 month, which is 4 or 5 sessions, depending on the length of the month. And then if you're into it, then you can ask Tyler or myself if you want to go deeper, try some of the recorded courses, and then you have Tyler there to help guide you through that kind of stuff. And like I said, when we work with individuals, it's all individualized, it's all organic. So maybe you're a guitarist, or maybe you're a performer, or maybe you're an athlete. Well, then we can develop really specific routines and practices and approaches for you to advance in whatever world you want to advance in. So it's not a cookie cutter approach, although the basics work for everyone, you know. Anything else you want to add, Tyler? We're going to be seeing a lot more of Tyler on the channel here soon as well, but this is the first introduction. So anything else that we're missing?
I think that touched on pretty much everything to start. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's been great to see you as always. And
Likewise.
even though we had only met online before the workshop, what's so fascinating about this bodywork stuff is that we have a huge amount of shared experience that transcends the media through which we communicate. I don't know how better to express that, but I've been at this internet training thing for 20 years. So I grasp it deeply, but I don't know how to communicate it to someone who hasn't had that experience. But I know when we met in person, it wasn't like there was some new component of it. There was the joy and beauty of being able to give a hug and be there around each other. But it was as if I had already had experienced the fullness of you as a person, even physically, even though the channel of communication was, through binary code and done online. Was that similar to your experience?
Yeah, I don't know how you explain that, but it certainly was my experience. Like how a year and a half feels like, yeah, the in-person introduction felt natural. Like you'd already met so many ways. But
yeah. Fascinating stuff, man.
Yes.
So these mysteries and more are available to you if you want to get involved. If you want to get involved with our online groups, you can visit radicalundoing.com or radicalundoing.com/NGF-weekly. I'll put it all in the description. But yeah, for in-person sessions around St. Petersburg, Florida, Tyler's your man, and look forward to working with you guys.
Absolutely.
Right. Thanks a lot, Tyler, and God bless you with this upcoming hurricane. I hope it goes well.
We'll find out shortly. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Well, we will